فاصبر صبرا جميلا.
As far as following the safest view, then it is a general principle for someone who isn't a researcher. As far as someone who is a researcher, then we should say, or we say that you should follow that which is strongest, even if it is against the majority. Follow that which is strongest, even if it's unconventional or unorthodox, or the people haven't heard about it or they're not practicing it. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentioned this issue in his fatwa a couple years back. I was reading his fatwa, I think it was maybe, I'm not sure, volume 12 or 13. Allahu alam. Al-Muhim, he mentioned the issue, ittiba' al-arshad am al-ahwat. What should be followed? What deserves to be followed the most? That which is closer to the dalil, even if you're not 100% sure, or that which is clearly on the safer side. And obviously, Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, he mentioned ittiba' al-arshad, following that which is stronger, even if it's controversial. Everyone understand this? And even if it isn't the what? Safer view. Even if it's not the what? Safer view. So that doesn't apply to every person. Al-Talib al-Ilm, he says, as an example, the student of knowledge, a sister who's a Talibatul Ilm, she can touch the Quran when she's on her menstruation. And she can read the Quran when she's on her menstruation. That's the view that I take based off of what I think is the correct view. That's clearly not the what? Strongest view. Or in Salat al-Maghrib, when the Imam is reciting, don't recite anything. Just be silent behind the Imam. That's not the what? That's not the safest view. The safest view is to recite the Fatiha. Because if you recite the Fatiha against the first view, you're making a sin by not listening to the Quran. But those other scholars, they say if you don't recite the Fatiha, your prayer is what? So that's clearly the safest view. But that doesn't mean that I have to follow the safest view and I don't feel it's the what? The correct view. No. So the student of knowledge has to take a risk. He has to what? He has to take a risk based off of the proof, based off the evidence. But a layman person who doesn't have that ability to decipher and discern, we say what? Take the safest view. Don't even play around with it. Everyone clear on this? And many people, they force students of knowledge into this. Oh, you can't take this view. We know that it's, Ibn Hazm said it, but the Jumhur, nah. There's no Jumhur. There's no Sheikh Fulan and Sheikh Alan. When a student of knowledge, Talib Ilm, has researched the issue, I believe that it's permissible. Malik, Shafi'i, Ahmed, Abu Hanifa, they all say no. I say no. This is the dalil. This is what's clear. The hadith is da'if. The Jumhur, they base their view off a hadith which is munkar. Extremely weak. I don't have to follow that. There's no safest view in light of science. In light of what? Ilm. As far as a layman who doesn't have that ability, then that's a what? Totally different story. Everyone understand this? So there are principles of ijtihad. There are principles of ittiba'. And there are principles of taqleed. And it is improper for us to mix and match. Apples and oranges do not belong together. Everyone understand this or not? They're two different fruits. Different flavors, different textures, different colors, different smells. They are not the same. Everyone understand this? And as we've also mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, is some of the worst things that have happened to the Muslims today is that the learned person wants to behave like an ignorant person. And the ignorant person wants to behave like a what? A learned person. That's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But change starts from up top. People follow their leaders. So if you study the Medina and you come back, Sheikh Albani said a hadith is sahih, and that's it. Sheikh Ibn Baz said it's permissible, and that's it. And you're not willing to think and to research and to read. How do you expect the general people to behave and respect the text and the classical scholarship? And you yourself want to behave like a what? A muqallid. Let alone a fanatical muqallid. He said it, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Sheikh Fulan said he's a mubtadi'. Khalas. Don't sit with him, don't study with him. What do you expect the people to be like if that's your attitude and that's your position? You're learning. You're not supposed to act like a what? An ignorant fool. And an ignorant fool is not supposed to act like what? Someone who's learned. So once we've done this, we've fallen into all types of problems. And I don't see Allah saving us from these problems until we change our behavior. Until we do what? Change our behavior. And Allah knows best.